Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is the latest edition in the Conjuring series. It once again follows Ed and Louise Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, as they follow a new case which follows a young man who murders another man, and when he goes on trial for murder, pleads not guilty due to demonic possession. I think the Conjuring films are fine. I have very little memory of the first one. I saw that, I've only seen that film once, and that's when it was in the cinema, but I did really enjoy the second one. That's because they're made by a great filmmaker in James Wan. This one is made by a different director, Michael Chaves. He directed The Curse of La Llorona, a film I have not seen. So I was excited to see what a new director could possibly do with this series. And it feels like somewhat of a missed opportunity. This film bored me senseless, which is difficult to do in a horror film. I'll talk about the very few things I did like, what I didn't like. The most interesting concept here is the boy who goes on trial. This apparently is based off a true story, but if the film had just been the court case, I think that could have been something really special. You could have shied away from the supernatural, special effects, all that stuff, and you could have focused on a much more grounded, realistic approach to this. I think there are 2 scenes set in the court in this film, which add up to a total of maybe 90 seconds, if that. In fact, the young boy who is on trial for this plays a very small role here. And when I say it feels like a missed opportunity, there's actually a really great line said by Patrick Wilson in which, when he first tells a lawyer that this boy wants to plead not guilty due to demonic possession, she sort of laughs in his face, and he comes back at her by saying, "In court, we are forced to swear by Almighty God. We acknowledge God in a court of law, so if we're acknowledging God, maybe it's time to acknowledge the devil." That's probably the best moment in the film. And I think if the film, again, had just stayed in the court and seen out this trial, that could have been something really, really good. It would have been totally different. It might have upset a few solid fans of the series, but I think that would have took it in a completely new direction. And if you want a film that deals with the supernatural in a courtroom drama, then I'd highly recommend you check out The Exorcism of Emily Rose, a film from 2004 or 2005, I think. But the majority of this film is just talking. In fact, it feels like the Warrens are on some form of side quest throughout the film. They go and talk to someone, tells them something, they end up going talking to someone else, who it then follows them on talking to someone else, and then someone else, and then someone else. And yeah, it bored me. The scares here were nothing special. When it comes to horror films, it has to take something really special to scare me. And when you go really over the top with the supernatural, it completely sucks me out of the immersion, mainly because I don't believe in any of that stuff. For example, when people get exorcised in this, it's not like in normal exorcism films where the bodies sort of contort. In this, they literally twist into knots like fucking spaghetti or something, only for them to be fine afterwards. Yeah, it just really sucked me out of the immersion. I didn't buy into it whatsoever. But yeah, it really goes overboard with the whole supernatural. In fact, the couple here are actually going up against like a witch, like a real witch, and yeah, you could say this is based off a true story. There's no way any of this happened. Absolutely not. The only true story is the boy who committed the murder and pled not guilty to demonic possession. But again, the film very rarely touches upon that. It's one of the most boring films I've seen this year. I'm going to give The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, 1.5 star. Really disappointed, especially on how much I enjoyed the last one. I think there's enjoyment to be had in some of them. I've seen a couple of the Annabelle films, but yeah, really didn't like this one. Went overboard with the supernatural aspects and wasted its best aspect of the film, which was the most engrossing part of the film, which was the trial of this young man. Anyway, look out for some more reviews soon. Hopefully by the next time I upload a review, I will have a brand new sexy microphone. I have got it, I'm just waiting on one more cable. Yeah, so I'm also expecting a lot of guests for my podcast. A lot of people have approached me to appear on that, so I expect many reviews soon with better audio quality, and I will see you on the next episode of James Eddy Reviews.